This is the Geeky and Dangerous vlog. I'm Gareth. And I guess you could say I've got a story to tell. Let's do this! Okay, so I'm currently sitting on the side of the freeway waiting for a tow truck because my car's broken down. I had Georgie and the kids with me, but they've since been picked up by Ken, Georgie's dad. Now I'm just kind of sitting here. Let's step back to yesterday. Last night we came down to Melbourne because we were going to see Aladdin today. We got down there, we hung out, we had dinner. I started to feel a bit weird by about 10, and so I went to bed at about 10:30 feeling like I was starting to get really sick. By like 11 o'clock, I was feeling really overheated, I was feeling just disgusting. I was really sick, I was really overheated. And so right throughout the entire night, I had like really weird fever dreams. Just, you know those dreams that you have that are they don't make sense? Like some of the dreams that I was having, I was dreaming that I had a cure for the sickness that I had, but the only way that I could get that cure was to be asleep. And so I kept waking up and going, oh no, I've really got to be asleep because in order to get the cure I have to be asleep. And so I kept falling back to sleep, and then I kept waking up about every 20 minutes and checking my phone and basically just wishing that it was morning already. So that was pretty horrendous. And then we got up this morning and we went by public transport to get into the city, and that was all fine, and we went and saw Aladdin, and it was pretty fantastic. It was a really great show. So I guess this is the point where I'll give you my review of Aladdin. So it was a really great show. It was great to hear all of the regular songs that are in the original Aladdin. It was also really great to hear some of the new songs that they've made, some of the ones that have only happened in the stage show. The guy who played Aladdin was great. He had a really great voice. The character of the genie in the stage show, I think it's hard to emulate the personality that was Robin Williams. Obviously they're not trying to emulate him, but I think they were trying to spice up the genie in a really modern, hip way that the kids would understand. And I feel a little bit like they missed the mark with the genie. Don't get me wrong, the actor was fantastic, his singing was amazing, and he was a very funny character. I don't know that there was any way to do that character any better than they did, because ultimately you're trying to improve on perfection. As Georgie very aptly pointed out, there's some things that you can do in a cartoon that you just can't do in real life. Outside of that, choreography fantastic. The songs were brilliant. The only other thing that I will say actually is that there were times where it seemed very, very static, much like this vlog up until this point. Honestly, I would definitely recommend people go and see it because it was really great, and I thought, I don't know that there was much that they could have done any better than they did. So it was a really great show. So I mean, really at this point, I'm kind of just waiting for a tow truck. Do you want to have a look at what's wrong with my car? Maybe you can help me out with it. That is what's wrong with my car. Any clues? Yeah, me neither. Alright, well I guess I'll just sit and wait. It was late. I was tired. I was so over everything to do with my car by this point. I was just trying to work out how I was going to get from Gisborne back to where Georgie and the kids were in Melbourne. It was just hectic, because when your car breaks down and you don't know anything about cars like I don't, it's really difficult to actually work out what to do. Now RACV were amazing. They kept me in the loop the whole time. It took probably about 2 hours to get to a mechanic, but then these guys happened. So Gardiner's garage, 100 years old this year. They've been operating almost under the same family for that entire time, almost. They've got all of this memorabilia up on the wall that you can see here. They have a guy working there by the name of Adam. Now, I met a few of the other guys. They were all lovely. Didn't really get to spend a lot of time with them, so I can only assume based on what I experienced that they're all pretty great. Adam, who was the guy that worked on my car, he was incredible. He spent so long working on my car. He made sure that every little bit was fixed. So there was things that needed replacing, there were things that needed fixing, and he spent the extra time, and he even did the service that I needed. He was incredible. He was there after he should have been. He was the personification of going the extra mile. He is what the service industry should be, and by that same token, Gardiner's Garage, what the service industry should be. If you live in Melbourne, Bendigo, anywhere in between, I honestly suggest getting your next service booked in with these guys. And no affiliation, I'm not sponsored by them, but what they did to help me last night could not have been more perfect from a service point of view, and I'm so appreciative. And Adam's wife, if you're watching this, thank you for lending me your husband for a little while, because he got me back on the road, he fixed my problem, and he got me back home to my family that night. Adam, thank you so much. Gardiner's Garage, thank you so much. You will be hearing from me when my next service is due. I can't overstate the amount of help that these guys gave me, so thank you so much. And Adam, thank you especially. You're a legend. Eventually, I got back on the road. I went back to Melbourne that night, ended up staying an extra night in Melbourne. Ultimately, we got up this morning, came back home. I'm now posting this vlog today. All worked out perfectly. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Geeky and Dangerous out!